You know what it is. You know what it is. Unique Make Audio. Tune in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Give everybody a chance to tap in. But before I begin, let me start off by showing you why I do what I do with a word from Murder Moot.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Moot, Harlem. You know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique. You know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, if, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca Audio, I feel it, and I like to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe. And it just took my mind way off of that. Way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
And from watching this man, I just felt like you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Harlem.
Somebody tell me how much sense that make, right? How much sense that make? Pooh Siesty's father got bail for kidnapping, but Allstar JR got caged for self-defense. Somebody let me know how this plays out. And I gotta hit some music in this, right? Because we wanna know how this play out. That Pooh Siesty's father got bail for kidnapping. We're gonna break it down. But we didn't even do the breaking news today. But I want y'all to tap in and understand that this is real. One man gets bail for kidnapping. Kidnapping. And got a lengthy history all the way back to 1991. Another man may not even have been born in 1991. And he was defending himself as a number of men allegedly tried to rob him. And he picked up the pistol and he went and defended himself. And he didn't get charged for shooting him. He got charged for felon in possession of a weapon because he wasn't allowed to touch a weapon per the statute that he was locked up with. That's what I want you to understand. So when y'all smoking out, leaned out, or whatever you're doing, and y'all start debating this issue, just remember this is a federal case. And the feds don't care why he picked up the gun. They don't care if his life was in danger when he picked up the gun. All they care about is that he touched it. He put his hands on it. He was forbidden to do it while he was a felon. His life in danger means nothing to them because he must remember the rules for what he signed up for, that he wouldn't possess a gun. But should that be used to prevent him from getting a bail? When a man who was allegedly charged with kidnapping that had 2 unalive in charge by the time he was 16 and a lengthy criminal history, he gets bail. We're going to delve into why that could be or could not be without pointing any fingers, just so y'all understand. So let's begin with this, right? Let's begin with this. Hold up. Pooh Siesty's father gets bond. Allstar JR gets no bond. One case got kidnapping allegations. One case got robbery allegations. One case got Gucci Man's name in it. The other case got self-defense arguments. And the man claiming self-defense is the one that's sitting behind bars when he used a gun to defend himself, to save his life, to stand his ground, as they say. The state even went up there. You know, let me show you what the state had to say about this real quick, right? Because y'all need to know what the state had to say about this, right? This the officer from when it happened, all right? Let's tap in.
3200 Kirby Drive at the Confessions nightclub, just behind me upstairs. It's a bar / restaurant type location. Tonight, there was probably, I don't know, 20, 30 people in there and several servers and everything. Got some pretty good video. We got 2 victims on the scene right now. This is a shooting. We got 2 victims. Let's see. One's been shot multiple times in the torso, probably in his late 20s. Another one's been shot in the extremities and the lower extremities, and also all throughout his arms and everything several times. He's probably in his mid-20s. They're both transported to local hospitals right now, and they're both in very critical condition. So my name is Lieutenant R. Wilkins, Willkens. So what we know right now is our suspect, who we don't know who he is right now. We're working on that. Investigators do a great job. I'm sure they'll figure out who he is. Was at this location and had a confrontation with a couple guys. That altercation originally, it appears from what they were doing, was trying to take his chains. Now, we don't know if they knew him or what that was, but it appears possibly they knew this guy, and they were in the process of trying to rip his chains off. That went on for 30 seconds to a minute, where these 2 guys were tussling with him, actually got him to the ground, and appears probably got his chains from him. Right after that, another fella jumps in, and several other people jump in as well, along with these other guys, and they start having a fist fight, and they're beating this guy pretty bad. They got him on the ground and beating him pretty good. Sometime during that part of the fight, our victim, who was originally looked like he was being majorly assaulted by several people and getting his chains ripped off, he presents a pistol. We don't know where he got it from, but he got it. Must have had it in his pants the whole time, but he got it out and started shooting randomly. Ends up hitting 2 people. Those are our 2 victims. Not certain if these are the same ones that were trying to rip off his necklaces or not. Again, investigation's just now starting, but investigators are going to get over here and try to figure out exactly how that occurred. We got some folks on the scene that are talking to us and got some good video. So that's where we are right now. You know, prayers for those 2 guys that were shot. Again, we don't know all the details yet, exactly why all this occurred. But like I said, our investigators will get to the bottom of it.
All right, so that's where we at, right? So y'all understand. You tell me if that don't sound sus to you. One man charged for kidnapping with a lengthy arrest, and another man is defending himself. You heard the police officer say that he was just defending himself in a self-defense manner because they allegedly tried to take his chain. Now, come on. A man is sitting with no bail for defending himself, and another man gets released with a lengthy criminal history for kidnapping and being in part in a situation that a Draco was pulled out. Many could have lost their lives. You can't tell me that the math don't sound funny. That scale looks a little tilted to me. Do y'all think that looked tilted? Put it in the comments if you think that scale looked tinted. That courtroom smell like pressure. That courtroom smells like a lot of pressure is going on in there. And maybe someone folded to the pressure. Maybe they waiting on someone else to fold to the pressure as well. The jewel in that is, when the case looks backwards, don't just ask what happened. Ask who the system trusts more to work with them and why. The controversial statement, bond don't move like that for nothing. You don't get bond in the feds for nothing. I did 26 years in the feds. I got $100,000 bond in New York and they took it away so fast, wished me to Virginia, rang, took me down to Virginia and let me know no bond. I haven't seen any, I'm even gonna say any, I haven't seen anyone get bail on a federal charge while I was in Virginia, but that was in 93. Now we're dealing with 2026. But this is a very controversial statement because the bond don't move like that for nothing. The bond have to have a motivator. The government controls the bond. The state controls the bond. If the government don't agree to give you bond, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get it because the government is the one who's bringing the case for the people. Let's be honest. Federal court is not soft. I know it's not soft because it rocked my black ass. Federal court is not emotional. Federal court does not give grace because you got a name like Little Baby, Pooh, Siesty, Gucci Man, Unique, whoever. So when a man with decades of history gets bond on something as heavy as kidnapping, it make you scratch your head and say, what's going on here? People are gonna ask questions. If y'all have any questions, please put it in the comments. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. And they should ask questions. Was it conditions to that bond? Was it lawyers? Was it his age? Was it paperwork? Or was it cooperation? Because something opened that door. And something is closing that door for Allstar JR, who was defending himself. We just laying out both sides up to you to decide. We're not picking sides and we're not here to bash anyone at Unique Maker Audio. Because the jewel in this is, in federal court, doors don't open by accident. Someone got a key, or someone gave them a key. Who do you think earns the key? The one that cooperate, or the one that say, I'm not telling you nothing? Put it in the comments. I don't see put it in the comments up there. Let me start working this myself. You know what I mean? And if the paperwork says cooperation, right? Then the bail makes more sense. Now listen carefully, right? I'm not here to lie to anyone, and I'm not here to bash anyone. I'm not here to throw dirt without paperwork. But if prior paperwork says a man cooperated, if prior paperwork says he had agreements, if prior paperwork says he was useful to the government and we could use him again, then the people have a right to ask obvious questions. Is he a rat bastard or not? Put it in the comments and let me know what you think. Because we're going to get deep. Share this video right now. Let your friends know to tune in. Make sure you hit the like button because they're trying to hold back my movement because it's too real. So hit the like button and give me an emoji or something in the comments. Let me know y'all tuning in. We got a load of 200 people in the back. Let me see everybody give me a little like button or something so we get this thing moving on the algorithm. Now, like I said, if prior paperwork says he was useful to the government, then the people have a right to ask obvious questions. Is that why the door opened? Is that why bond was granted? Is that why the system looked at him different? Because the street knows one thing. The feds protect what's valuable to them. And what's valuable to them is convictions. The jewel in that is The system does not love nobody, but it would make room for somebody it believes can be useful to them to bring someone else down. Because once they bring one down, that one could bring 10 in, and that 10 could bring 10 in, and that 10 could bring 10 in, and before you know it, you have 100. All from one rat bastard that didn't want to do the time for what he got caught for doing. Allstar JR did not get that same energy in court. Why do you think Allstar JR did not get that same energy in court? Somebody put in the comments. Now look at Allstar JR. They say he was just being robbed. They say he was being jumped. They say a gun hit the floor. They say he picked it up. They say he fired it. The state side looked at the shooting differently. The state side looked at it as self-defense. He was defending himself. He was standing his ground under Texas law. But the feds came through with the gun charge. Felon in possession of a firearm. This is the whole play. Not the robbery attempt. Not the fear. Not the chaos. Not the possession. And don't you find it ironic that Allstar JR is the only one charged? They said someone tried to rob someone. Isn't that a violation? They said someone tried to rob someone. They said someone tried to take someone's chain, but no one was charged. Only Allstar JR. What does that tell you? It tells you that there's a lot of pressure. There's a whole lot of pressure right now going down with Allstar JR, so you could understand. There's a lot of pressure going on with Allstar JR. And it's crazy because people don't understand that it is what it is. And once you fall victim and you start working with the people, it's a wrap. A complete wrap. And that's why we're trying to prevent that over here at Unique Mecca Audio. So don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I wasn't honest with you, because I'm just here to give you the real. The jewel in that is the streets saw a man fighting to live. The feds saw a man forbidden to handle or touch a firearm. The feds saw a man forbidden to handle or touch a firearm. So they charged him, and they tell him no bail. But they tell the man that has the robbery charge, the kidnapping charge, the lengthy criminal history, the 2 unalivings when he was 16. You can go home. But you that was defending yourself, you have to stay here. Somebody put in the comments and tell me what this is all about. If this make any sense to you. One man allegedly involved in kidnapping. One man allegedly involved in a robbery setup. One man got decades of history. One man been tied to trouble since he was a youth. Then you got Allstar JR is fighting off an alleged attack. And he's the one who can't go home. That is why people are mad. That is why the streets are talking. Because common sense is screaming one thing. The courtroom is doing another thing. When common sense and the courtroom start walking in opposite directions, someone needs to explain the map and the destination and the reasoning. The age of the history matters. Allstar JR is not even old enough to match that type of history. Pooh Siesty's father history goes back decades, back to when some of these rappers were not even born yet. That is why the comparison is crazy. One man's record got layers, years, cases, names, allegations, history. Then the younger man with the self-defense argument is treated like the bigger threat. Please, somebody tell me how this makes any sense. The jewel in that, right? Because y'all want the jewel, right? If history matters in court, then history should matter evenly. Don't you agree? Not only when the system wants it to or needs someone to cooperate. Yo, the number's on the screen. Put the number on the screen so they can see it, because my joint blocking it. Where the number at? Let me do it myself, because it's going to be a project. See how easy it is? That's the number if anybody want to call in right now, you know? And put the link. I'm going to put the link in the comment down here if somebody want to join in. I'm going to put the link in the description down here. The link going to be over there if you want to come in. This is where street code and federal code collide. Street code says a man has a right to survive. The street code says if they jump you, you protect yourself. Street code says if they bring the danger, they own the consequences. But federal code says you're a felon. You touch a gun, that is possession. That is how cold the law is. No gray area. It does not ask how scared you were at first. It asks, did you possess it? And if the answer in any way, shape, form, or fashion is yes, then you already know. The jewel in that is the street code measures the reason. The federal code measures the element. That's how survival becomes a charge. Now, I'm gonna let you see how Pooh Siesty's father had gotten bail. Let's ride.
Williams Sr. will be released, and all temporary stay orders delaying his release have now been removed. All of this coming after Williams and his son, Pooh Siesty, were arrested along with 7 others, including Memphis rapper Big 30, back in April. Investigators allege the group kidnapped and robbed Gucci Mane and 2 others at gunpoint inside a Texas music studio. Meanwhile, Pooh Siesty is set to go to trial later this summer on July the 6th. New court documents show that Lontrell Williams Sr. will be released, and all temporary stay orders delaying his release have now been removed. All of this coming after Williams and his son, Pooh Siesty, were arrested along with 7 others, including Memphis rapper Big 30, back in April. Investigators allege the group kidnapped and robbed Gucci Mane and 2 others at gunpoint inside a Texas music studio. Meanwhile, Pooh Siesty is set to go to trial later this summer on July the 6th.
So that's what's going on. You explain to me how they dropped everything on him, but Allstar JR is sitting in jail. Somebody please put it in the comments, man. Somebody please put it in the comments. All right, with my comment button, put in the comments, because I need some help, God. Damn, I need some help. You know what I mean? Hold up, man. Put it in the comments. This is what it looked like. Let me see if I can get it up here. Put it in the comments. Let's ride. All right? So now, but then why does Bond look different? Why does Bond look different is what I want to know. This is the real question. If danger is the issue, compare danger. If history is the issue, compare history. If violence is the issue, compare allegations. If community safety is the issue, compare the facts. Because kidnapping allegations are not light. Robbery allegations are not light. Decades of arrests are not light. So how does that man get bond while Allstar JR sits? That is not a small question. That is a whole video on its own. Now, the jewel in that is when the system treats two risks differently, the streets start looking for the hidden reason. What do y'all think the hidden reason is? The hidden reason might be value. Federal court values information. Federal court values access. Federal court values cooperation. Federal court values people who can open bigger doors. That is not street talking. That is federal reality. So when people hear man may have cooperated before, and then they see that the same man gets bond now with a lengthy criminal history for kidnapping, they're going to connect certain dots. Maybe right. They may be right. They may be wrong. But the question is a fair question. And the jewel in that is, in the streets, value is money. In the federal court, value can be information. Who's more valuable? The one talking or the one not talking? And who do you think is talking, who's not talking, based on what you see playing out? Now, don't call it hate. Call it pattern recognition. People are not stupid. The streets read patterns. The streets read timing. The streets read paperwork. The streets read who gets pressure. And their actions show you. And their consequences show you. The streets read who gets room. If one man gets locked down with a self-defense argument and another man gets bond with kidnapping allegations, people are going to say, hold up. Pump the brakes. What are we seeing? What does the paperwork say? What does the government know? What information is the government trying to get? Or did or didn't get? That made them want to turn the key and open the door for bond. The jewel in that is, the streets may not know the whole file, but the streets know when something smells a little off. Do y'all know when something smells a little off? Put it in the comments. This is not snitch bashing. This is street education. I'm not here to batch alleged snitches. I'm just here to give you education on the streets, so hopefully you choose not to be a part of the streets. I'm not here to call nobody out their name. I'm not here to convict nobody online. I'm not here to disrespect anybody's family. I am here to teach the youth that it's not worth it to even get caught up to be in this type of conversation. Because young dudes think the streets are fair. But I want you to know from OG, they not. They think the system is fair. That's not either. They think being right will save them. But they dead wrong. The jewel in that, right? This is not gossip. This is a warning. The streets don't love you. The system don't love you. So stop giving both of them power over your life. Because we don't want you to lose your life, wind up in a wheelchair, or wind up in a prison cell. Don't prove anything to us. Only thing you have to prove to us is that you can be successful. That's all we want over here at Unique Mech Audio. Allstar JR's case is a lesson in being right, but not safe. Is that crazy? Allstar JR's case is a lesson in being right, but not safe. A man can be right in the moment. A man can be scared in the moment. A man can be attacked in the moment. A man can react in the moment and still be unsafe in court. That is the nightmare. That is why this case matters. And that's why I chose to speak on this, not because of the rat allegations or none of that, because it shows the youth that street survival does not equal legal protection. That's the trap that we trying to prevent you from going down on Unique Mecca Audio. The jewel in this is you can beat the robbery and still catch the firearm. That's federal math. Pooh Shiesty's father's bond, right? What y'all think about Pooh Shiesty's father's bond? Put the comments up there and put the number up there. I got to do this myself. You know what I mean? They go the number to call. Put it in the comments. All right. So that's what it looked like when I say put in the comments. Y'all put it in the comments. All right. Now let's get back. I want to hear your opinion, but we're gonna ride on Pooh Shiesty's father's bond. Is it a lesson in federal relationships? Is Pooh Shiesty's father's bond a lesson in federal relationships? It do make you say, and scratch your head, right? Now, but it say, the dad allegedly worked with them before he jumped on this time. Yeah, those are the things that I'm hearing. You know, we're going to pull that over and knock that in a minute. And, you know, hold up. Yeah, 'cause I wanted to do so. I got all these little tricks and trade for y'all, right? Check this joint out, right? Let me go here. Hold up now. I don't want to go there. I want to come over here. I want to give y'all a little treat, right? I want to give y'all a little treat. So I want to change my little background up for you one time. All right. I'm going to put that there, right? But then we're going to take that out. And I'm going to show this over here. So then we're going to come back. And we're going to show you this. All right. That's how we're going to ride. We're going to give you a little visual while I talk my talk. You know, got the music, got the visual. Now, the lesson is a federal relationship, right? Now, look at the other side. When somebody with that much history gets a bond, especially on allegations as serious as kidnapping, you have to ask, what relationships exist? How strong are those relationships? How strong are those bonds? That's what I want to know. How strong are those bonds for that to be going on in the manner that it's going on? Right? This is a serious issue, and we want to make sure y'all fully understand what's going on with that, right? So we're going to bring Pooh Shiesty and Gucci up because I know how to rock this thing now, right? So now, you know, let me start over. Pooh Shiesty's father's bond is a lesson in federal relationships. Now look at the other side. When somebody with that much history gets bond, especially on allegations as serious as kidnapping, you have to ask, what relationships exist? What paperwork exists? What agreements exist? What prior corporations exist? What does the government believe about the future usefulness before they decide to grant bond? Because bond is not just mercy. Sometimes bond is management. You give a person bond and you're going to manage them because they want to stay out there on the bond. Sometimes bond is control. Sometimes bond is access to more information to further the case investigation. The jewel in that is the feds don't give freedom, they give conditions, and conditions always come with a purpose. Now, the street moral. Don't live a life where your freedom depends on federal favors to try and get bond for whatever manner. This is the jewel. Do not build a life where you need the feds to like you, to have to feel like they have to look out for you. Do not build a life where your lawyer has to beg for your mercy. Do not build a life where your bond depends on secrets that you know you're not supposed to reveal. Do not build a life where your freedom depends on information. Do not build a life where the system has your whole history in one folder. Because when that folder opens, your reputation cannot close it. And that's why I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all now, don't even get caught up in that, because it's definitely not worth it. And I don't want to see y'all out there doing the same things that we know we're not supposed to be doing, right? I'm trying to find this picture for you. I thought I had it. Hold up. I'm trying to find this picture. Hold up. You see Allstar right there. All right. They lost their lives as well. So I'm just showing you different pictures. And this is the one I wanted to show you, right? So let me come back out of here. All right, let me come back out of there. Right, so this is beyond outrageous, right? Let me get back to this now. The jewel is, if the feds know your whole life better than your family does, you already lost control. The youth need this raw. And that's why I'm here giving it to you raw like this, right? The youth needs it raw. Young brothers, listen to me. Stop crashing and chasing street credit. Stop chasing gun stories. Stop chasing the image. Stop thinking you can beat the system with reputation. It don't matter what your name is, whether it's a rap name, stage name, or block name. Pooh Siesty's father is fighting a federal kidnapping case. Allstar JR is fighting a federal gun case where he's claiming self-defense. Different men, different cases, different lessons. The streets lead to paperwork. The jewel in that is the street life always got two endings, a cell or a secret. Neither one is freedom. And in final closing round, this is why the game is dirty. I'm gonna tell you why, but before I even tell you why the game is dirty, right? Let me just give you a little time out so y'all can have time to hit that like button, because I don't think y'all hitting enough liking this. I'm giving y'all a whole lot of jewels. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime. Out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page.
All right, enough of that. I'm ready to tell you why the game is so dirty right now. So here's the bottom line, man. Pooh Siesty's father got bail. Allstar JR gets denied for self-defense. Kidnapping allegations get conditions. Self-defense arguments get custody. Decades of history get a door cracked. Somebody help me understand that. A younger man gets the door slammed in his face for defending himself. Wow. He's allegedly being robbed by a group of men. This is why the streets are asking questions. This is why this comparison matters. Because the system is showing you something. It's not about who's toughest. It's not about who's realest. It's not about who talks the hardest. It's about that leverage. And what tilts that leverage but pressure, information, risk, control, and usefulness. The jewel in that, right? Y'all want to know the jewel in that? The streets will use you until the feds want you. You hear what I said? The streets will use you until the feds want you. The feds will squeeze you until you become useful. What they're doing now is trying to squeeze Allstar JR for some form of information. That's called pressure, federal pressure. And if you're not useful, they'll just let you sit. That is why the youth need to hear this. Do not chase a life where your freedom depends on who you can tell on or what you can survive. Choose a clean path before the system chooses your number. I can't give it to you no more realer than that, man. So y'all let me know where you at with that if you understand that, right? And I got some questions for y'all, right? But I don't even really know where I'm at because I can't believe all this that was just said. Now, I'm going to let you hear what happened with, Allstar JR's situation right now. All right, because we ride.
Get to some of those headlines developing this morning in Upper Kirby. 2 men are in the hospital after they were shot inside a popular restaurant.
Now, Jade Fleury is live at Confessions with how this all started. Jade, what do you know so far?
Well, Denise, Melissa, the shooting is drawing a lot of attention online, with many people identifying one of the 2 men shot as NBA Ben 10, an affiliate of rapper NBA Youngboy. And Houston police say that the gunman on the run was actually being robbed for his chains and assaulted when he shot up the restaurant before taking off. But right now, it's unclear if the 2 men who were shot were involved in that attempted robbery or just caught in the crossfire. All of this happened around 11:30 Wednesday night at Confessions restaurant on Kirby Drive near Richmond. When police arrived, they found 2 men in their 20s with multiple gunshot wounds. One man hit several times in the torso and the other shot in the arms and legs. Investigators say that it started as an attempted robbery over jewelry, with several people confronting a man trying to snatch his chains. That fight escalated quickly, with multiple people jumping in, knocking the man to the ground and beating him up. Police say that's when the man pulled out a gun and started shooting.
Sometime during that part of the fight, our victim, who was originally looked like he was being majorly assaulted by several people and getting his chains ripped off, he presents a pistol. We don't know where he got it from, but he got it. Must have had it in his pants the whole time. But he got it out and started shooting randomly. Ends up hitting 2 people. Those are our 2 victims. Not certain if these are the same ones that were trying to rip off his necklaces or not.
Now, Houston police say that there were about 20 to 30 people inside of the restaurant at the time of the shooting. They also say that the restaurant's owners and staff, they're cooperating with police in the investigation, and police are also going through surveillance video to piece together what exactly happened, but they're asking anybody with information on this incident to call HPD. Reporting from Upper Kirby, Jade Fleury, Fox 26 News.
All right, so that's where we at, so you understand, right? This can't get no
crazier. And one of the 2 men
that.
shot.
All right, we take her volume out. We understand when the 2 men shot. Let me rewind this because I could do all kinds of stuff over here. Yo, y'all put in the comments, the number is on the screen. Let me put the number on the screen. The number's on the screen if y'all want to call in. You know what I mean? I'm about to ask my 10 viral questions so y'all can put in the comments, and then I'm going to tap out so you have time to call in. So don't call after the show end and say, hey, can I call in? because I'm giving you an opportunity now. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let me wake you up before I even do that real quick. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Hey man, to the beat now. You like that? We like that. You like that? We like that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. I like the way it's going down.
All right, so that's where we at, right? Let me ask you 10 viral questions, right? But let me see what I want to put up here. I'm gonna put up something different because I can do all kinds of things while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna put back up. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna put back up this, man. All right, I'm gonna put that back up. Now, let's see the question on the screen. Why do y'all think that Allstar JR, right, has no bail? You know, I don't know. Put in the comments, let us know. But what I'm saying is he's supposed to have a bail. They said he was remanded. That's what I heard the feds saying. That's what the feds use, remanded. When you remanded, that means no bail. If you know something different, please put it out there. But thank you for the comments. If I say something you feel is wrong, feel right, by all means, you know, to call me on it. All right. Well, let's be respectful because I'm going to be respectful. All right. Let's put the number back on the screen. How does Pooh Siesty's father get bond on kidnapping allegations while Allstar JR sits in jail on self-defense, remanded? Put that in the comments. The answer, because federal court may be looking at more than the charge. It may be looking at history, control, leverage, and possible usefulness. The jewel in that is the charge is the headline. The leverage is the hidden story. The second question, right? Are people wrong for asking if corporation played a role? All right. Hold up. Listen to the outro real quick. Gotta take this call real quick.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio.
Fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio.
Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what?
All right. Question number 2. Are people wrong for asking if corporation played a role? No. If public paperwork or prior casing suggests corporation, then the question is fair. Do y'all think that question is fair? Every time I say put it in the comments, please, I would like it to say put in the comments on the screen. All right? And I'm going to say that quite frequently, so be ready. All right. If public paperwork or prior casing suggests corporation, then the question is fair. But you still point to the paperwork, not just rumors. Because we're not going to run with the rumors. But does it look a little sus? The jewel in that is, street talk gets attention. Paperwork gives it weight. Now, the question, right? Does bond mean Pooh Siesty's father beat the case? Put it in the comments if you think that the Pooh Siesty's father getting bond means that he beat the case or may beat the case. No, bond is not a win. Bond means he fights from outside under conditions. The case is still alive. The jewel in that is, bond is not freedom. Bond is a leash with fresh air. The next question, and I need y'all to put in the comments, is Allstar JR being punished for defending himself? Do you feel Allstar JR is being punished for defending himself? Somebody let me know what you think of that. That is the argument people are making, but the feds are not focused only on self-defense. They're focused on possession. Did he possess the gun for even a millisecond? If he did, then he's in violation of the statute. Now, the jewel in that is, the streets see survival. The Fed sees a statute. Question number 5. Why does this feel like a double standard? Why do this feel like a double standard to you? Put it in the comments. Why do this feel like a double standard to you? Because kidnapping allegations sound heavier than a self-defense claim, don't it? And when the heavier case gets bond, people naturally ask, what is behind the curtain? Who's the magician? And who's the puppet? The jewel in that, Ron. When justice looks uneven, people start searching for the hand tilting the scale. Because the scale definitely seems a little tilted, don't you think? Next question. What is the street code lesson in this to you? What is the street code lesson in this to you? That's what I want to know. Do not live a life where the feds can use your history, your friends, your lyrics, or your silence against you. The jewel in that is, street life gets the government too many handles to grab you by. Running the streets give the government too many angles to pull you in on. So that's why over Unique Make Order we say get out the streets, it ain't worth it. Question number 7. Can being right still get you locked up? Could Allstar JR being right for defending himself still get him locked up? Y'all can't tell me these are good questions. Y'all need to really hit that like button and keep this thing moving. You know? And you can be morally right and legally trapped. That is why street logic does not save you in federal court. The jewel in that is, the streets argue reason, the court argues elements. Question number 8. What does cooperation change in federal court? What do cooperation change in federal court? Put that in the comments. It can change how the government views risk. It can change negotiations. It can change recommendations. It can change pressure. But it has to be proven by paperwork, not just internet talk. The jewel in that is, in federal court, paperwork is louder than reputation. What should young people learn from this? Put it in the comments. What should young people learn from this? The answer. Do not chase a lifestyle where your freedom depends on bond hearings, lawyers, or federal agreements. The jewel in that is the best bond hearing is the one your mother never has to attend. The last and final question, because I know y'all ready for me to ride out. And I'm about to tap out in a minute, right? Been on here long enough. What is the real message? Put it in the comments. What do you think the real message is? The answer. The streets are not loyal. The system is not fair. The internet is not your friend. And the feds are not playing no games with you. The jewel in that is the streets will clap when you crash, but the court will count the years they give you, and prison will collect the balance. And that's how that works. So don't say that you wasn't warned as far as what's going on with this. So what do y'all think about this program? Put it in the comments. Let me deal with some of these comments now and see what's going on. Let me move this over here so I can see it. All right. Let's see what some of these comments are now. All right. Let me run back some of these comments. Bear with me, y'all. But like I said, the phone is on. Nobody called in, so y'all good. You know what I mean? Kwani BX5, you know what I mean? Thanks for tapping in. My World. What is it? My World 718. All right. All right. Let me see where we at. Okay, unique. Yeah. Hold on. Whack 100 put out paperwork on the father. He's a rat bastard. Who's that? I can barely even read the name from back here. Adam Roberts, 8216. All right, so that's where we at. All right, so let me roll down here with these questions and see so I can try and get a little bit of everybody. Henny Lily, all right? Let's see where we at. Definitely hit the like button. Davon, the divine, good looking, always representing. That's what family do. You know, peace to the chat. You know, be more Farley. Or be more for life. Don't mind me. I declare and decease that those ops God Almighty shall be under judgment by the war angels. Talk that talk. All right. Let me see. All right, so we've been on here long enough, man. Let me tap out. Y'all good? Put in the comments, thanks for tapping in. I'm out of here, man. All right.
Cheers. Toast the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself linked in. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio.
Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. And we gon' do it like
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend the air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the